Okay, today our topic is about continuous risk reduction to OT environment. So a quick background of who is XM Cyber. Okay, so we are a company designed for medium to large enterprise with complex network. Okay, we are founded in 2016 and we are acquired by a company called Swatch Group in Germany in 2021. Okay, Swatch Group, they are actually our customer before they acquire us. So we actually deploy across 500,000 endpoints globally with multiple cloud environment. So I actually see the value in us to help them continuously reduce risk and help them to prioritize vulnerabilities. Okay, and of course with their complex network, there are a lot of work to be done. Okay, but we actually help them to reduce it, and they see the value, acquired us, and now we are part of their strategy to for the countries as well, because they also do things like digital arm, build smart nation, build their own AWS in Germany. So we're actually part of the strategy for this cybersecurity initiative for Germany as well. Okay, and you can see some of our customer list here. We are actually very diversified. Okay, so if you are interested to do risk reduction in a safe way, okay, you can look for us. We are not just taking care of a customer in the finance industry, automotive, or we have a football club, and also at technology companies that work with us over the years. So the key challenges that we see in the market now is attacker is getting smarter every day, and we need to catch up, right? There are more and more solutions that we need to put into our security stack, and they are getting more and more smarter to bypass it, exploit different mix of vulnerability, configuration issue, identity, and eventually reach what they want to go to, the destination or the crown jewel in the organization. So the three big challenges that we see across organization is there are too many things on the plate. Right, every day we hear new vulnerabilities, new 0 days, and then we talk about cloud, there are attack surfaces out there, and then today you got OT. So it just keep on going on and on and on, and we only have the same amount of people, 1 or 2 people looking at exponential growth of things. And technology actually don't talk to each other, as you all know. Probably you all need to engage a partner, or you all need to have a big team to actually decipher and put together all the risks together to chain up whether how it makes sense for the attacker to attack you. So when you don't know how the attacker attack you, you actually don't know where is the most vulnerable place to handle or to fix first, right? How do you know that which machine is the most vulnerable, which user is actually at the most risk if you don't know how the attacker works? So you actually give them time. When you are busy fixing things that is not on the attack path to the critical asset, you actually give advantage to the attacker. As you know, attacker do not come in on the first day and then they take what they want and then they go out. Usually they stay in stealth mode for a few months or a few years, wait for the right timing. It can be an accident, a misconfiguration, or someone accidentally forgot to restart the server after patching, and then they do the attack from then. So these are the 3 key challenges that we see for the defender. Okay, it's across all the different type of organization that we have worked with. So today we will look at OT system. So OT is not just machines, as you all know. In the OT level, there are also different IT environment inside. Okay, the IT system like AD, DNS, human machine interface, where you need to manage the machine. Okay, so it's actually a very converged network now for OT and IT. Okay, so what we are looking at today is how we actually secure the risk reduction, the path into the OT environment based on the IT asset. So, and nowadays OT is not just for certain industries, it's actually spread across all the different type of industry in the world today. Okay, even in banking, even your lift lobby, your display, your CCTVs are actually part of OT that can be exploited. Like example, there's a use case in US where the attacker actually hacked into the aircon system and then breached into the internal system as well. And these are some of the top unforgettable attacks in the OT world. Okay, where it actually started from the IT. Okay, as the first one on the top left, it started with social engineering, where the attacker gained access. Second one is through a phishing email. Third one is a SSH tunnel is activated remotely. Okay, so they gain access from the IT and able to control the machine, which actually bring down the power system during a winter day. Okay, so it actually bring a lot of awareness to the world from then on that cyber attack is not just about finance. So sometimes it can cause life and death. Okay, so cyber attack is very important. Cyber security is very important in today's world, and we really need to look at how the attacker works. And in all these examples, there is no clear definition of how the attacker can come in. Okay, I'm not sure anyone can put up their hand and say that they have blocked all the different type of attack surfaces that the attacker can come in. So I just talked to another customer this morning and he said that I have all the security in place. I have network, I have malware, I have firewalls, but the attacker actually come in from one of the application. So then now they need to invest in application security. And then now we talk about AI security, we talk about external attack surfaces, and the list just go on. But something from this trend, as you can see, is the lateral movement. When the attacker come in, they need to move from the IT to the OT environment. They will not just stay on that computer and do nothing. Okay, so they will find all the different type of techniques that they can have, be it vulnerability, be it credential, be it misconfiguration, cloud techniques. Eventually, they will reach their end goal to actually do the exploit, bring down the system, disable the system, run a ransomware, and they need to move. Okay. So XM Cyber take a smarter approach. We assume breach. We assume that the attacker is already inside your organization. Okay, so what can they do across your complex environment? Okay, we will calculate and identify all the different type of attack path with a mix of techniques, not just a vulnerability or AD or misconfiguration or cloud techniques, but we chain it up together and think like how the attacker works. Okay, the attacker can move from the corporate network into a data center, pivot into the cloud, and into the OT environment. Okay, so this step-by-step, point-to-point, it actually help you to prioritize and know where is your most risky environment. We will show you that where is the exact entity in the environment to fix first. We are not telling you that, okay, there's a new vulnerabilities, 100 machine is on the same version, you have to patch 100 machine today. But I only got one guy, right? Which one I need to prioritize first? I don't have so much downtime that I can do this. But with XM Cyber Attack Graph Analyst, we can tell you exactly which machine or which user that you need to fix. Okay? And with this graph, then you can reduce the load or resources or your remediation activities, okay, and focus on the most critical and important point inside the organization. And we are not just telling you that there's an issue. Okay, we help you check whether the issue is exploitable. We also provide remediation guide on how to fix the issue step by step. So we are not just on the offensive side, we are also on the defensive side to help you prioritize and remediate at the same time. And based on our research on the global customer, medium to large enterprises, 74% of the issue that you have found are not actually on the path to the critical asset. That means that it can be a vulnerability on one single machine, but it does not lead the attacker to the CEO computer. Okay, but on another machine, you find a low severity, CVSS2, but it actually can reach the Active Directory. You should actually prioritize that. Instead of just looking at, based on CVSS 10, critical severity, you can then prioritize accordingly. So XM Cyber have a very unique prioritization process. We actually look across all the different architecture, okay, be it on-prem workstation, servers, be it a Unix environment, Active Directory, Kubernetes, your cloud environment, because to the attacker, all these are the same environment. They don't today want to attack your AWS, tomorrow they attack your Active Directory. No, they will try all ways and means, any attack path they can find. Okay, so we will discover all the exposures across the different environment onboarded on XM Cyber. And then we will check in the wild whether it is exploitable based on what we discovered. And then we will test and validate in the environment based on your production environment. Okay, in a safe way, we are running in the SaaS. Okay, we will exploit in the SaaS to make sure that it's exploitable. And then we will build the graph that you see in the previous slide. With the graph, then you can see that whether this attack is able to reach the critical asset, and then down to where is the choke point, where is the most risky point. So based on our research, it's only 2% of the issue that you find. So imagine if you have 100 issues, you only need to fix 2. Okay, now you can really focus and zoom in on your effort and resources from here. So what is in the OT world? So in the OT world, there are also human management interface that need to manage all the machines. So XM Cyber will actually cover until that IT in the OT world, okay, to help you secure the attack path from the IT into the OT machine itself. So this is an example of how the attack path looks like on the product, on the demo, okay. So it can start from a HANA Windows 7 machine on the bottom, okay, and then we see that there is an attack path to a threat machine in another country. Okay, so we validate the network, we check the POC whether this is a valid path, and then we draw out the path itself, and then from Fred, it's actually able to reach the WinCC, which is the human managed interface of the OT environment. Okay, and then we will map out the path for you. So we show you step by step how the attacker works. Okay, it's not just because XM Cyber says so, but we actually show you how we calculate the path and how the graph looks like. And after that, we will show you the reports in detail. We will show you the description. We will show you what are the conditions that we are checking, not just because the patch level is not there, but because there is network connectivity, the spooler service is running, the remote printing is not disabled. So there is a set of conditions based on the vulnerability proof of concept, and then we will say that is a real attack path. And then on top of that, we will provide you with the remediation guide, how to remediate, what is the instruction, and what are the machine that you need to apply this remediation on. Okay, so we actually provide very detailed. We also can integrate with ServiceNow, with Jira for your next step operation. So this is another example where if you discover a leaked credential outside, from there we can chain up to internal Active Directory users. If the user is still active, then we will start the attack path to calculate whether this user is able to breach into the OT environment. Okay, so not just looking at the inside, we also can look at what is on the outside and bring it in internally to your critical environment itself. So what do we cover inside the OT environment? So we actually cover from the IT network, bring into the OT environment, okay, covering all the IT asset within the OT environment itself, okay, to look at how the attacker can move from the outside to the inside IT environment into the OT environment itself. Okay. So with XM Cyber, you are able to continuously test different attack scenario, okay, targeting your OT infrastructure. You are able to automate this control assessment in a safe way. So you run it in continuous 24/7 because you are assessed, okay. And then we proactively help you to remove the risk, okay, not just like do a one-time scan and then next day the attacker come in, you cannot find it, okay. But it's a 24/7 process. See if the network is properly segmented, okay, because IT to OT should be properly segmented itself. Focus your resources on the top priority or the most risky entity in the environment. And of course, enrich your reporting, right? You want to know your security posture. You want to know how to report to your management that, where is the most risky point, where's the most risky environment. So with our attack graph, you can actually do that. So Gartner actually confirmed this theory in 2021 with this new framework called Continuous Threat Exposure Management. It's actually the #2 strategic trend for 2024. So it's actually encourage organization to take an attacker view, think like how the attacker works, okay, to reduce your cyber risk. And just looking at vulnerability is not longer enough. You actually have to look at different areas and different techniques. Last slide here. So we help organization to continuously improve their security posture. Okay, so this is a graph for a 30,000 employee company. They go from F, which is not so good, 34 to 100. Okay, over the span of 4 months. Okay, we are also able to show them what are the risk reduction quickly within a day just by focusing on the choke point. It actually started with 89% when we first deployed and assessed the environment. And then within a day, we found 4 different choke points, like the EDI is not running, there's an internet-facing servers that shouldn't have internet-facing, there's 2 cache privilege credential in one of the machine. They actually lead the attacker to the crown jewel of the organization. Okay, so we're fixing these 4 points, you actually go from 89% to 2%. So you actually can show your KPI as well to your management that, you have did this and this is the result. So you can compare before and after with our dashboard to show to your management. That will be the last slide. Thank you. Yeah.